Hey gang, John Bacarella here with your Lake St. Clair ice fishing report. It's the 23rd of January. We're coming off of like 6 straight days of ice making temps and going into, if you believe the weatherman, 10 days of ice takeaway days, including rain tomorrow. So who knows what the heck is going to happen here. They're forecasting up to like a ½ inch of rain tomorrow, but the temps are going to be like 35, 36-ish when we get the rain. So who knows what that's going to do, how much, the snow is going to suck it up. It's going to be what it's going to be. All we can hope is that it firms back up. But as of right now, as of us shooting the video right now on Thursday at, what is it, like 12:18, the guys are on main lake ice up on the north end, and they're also in a lot of the canals and the back bays at Metro. But I'm going to start out with my report like I normally do. I'm going to start down here by Crocker, and we're going to go north because it's way easier for me just to kind of keep it in my head as to what's going on. So Crocker Road, lost the ice earlier in the week completely. We regained the ice when I checked it this morning. So what you're going to find in a lot of these videos, snippets that we put in here and stuff, is that the southeast wind that we've had has blown a lot of the busted up ice that was out on the lake. And it depends on where you are, whether they're little pieces or great big sheets of it, but it's all blown in on the American shoreline for the most part, all the way up on this side, all the way up to the north end. And that's the case at Crocker Road, although right now it is not walkable ice. If we could hold some cold temperatures, it would be walkable ice pretty soon, but right now it is just a bunch of chunks blown in there and they're cemented together, but I'm not going to tell anybody to go out on that stuff. So that's Crocker Road for now. If you want to check it, you're more than welcome to check it and see if but I'm not going to tell you that you can walk on it. So from there, we're going to go back into Metro. Now, Metro is a whole different story, okay? Metro and both the marsh and that first basin there by the marsh have got some pretty decent ice conditions. Actually, if I was going to compare it to a lot of the rest of the lake, it's got some good black ice back there, albeit not super thick. The thickest measurements that I got anywhere back there were pushing 4 inches of ice. So generally, it's going to be 3 to 3.5, but you're going to have to really be careful, guys, because there is open water pockets out there because of some of the goose activity, and there's always current areas in and around there. So the rule of thumb, no matter where you go fishing over the next several days, is going to be you need to take a spud, okay? If you're taking an auger, you're really going to be risking your life. You take the spud and use it often. So there were guys fishing back in the marsh this morning when I was back there. There was one gentleman out in the basin at Metro as well. And again, that it's black ice. So as of right now, it was pretty darn good, solid ice, but it's going to be thin. You're not going to find anything over probably 4.5 to 5 inches anywhere where you're going to go on the lake right now. So if you're spooked by that, then don't go, because you're not going to find anything thicker than that anywhere. And I think if anybody tells you different than that, they're not being honest. But so 5 inches is probably the most you're going to find anywhere. So that's the deal at Metro back in the marsh in the basin. If we go up further north, the next stop is going to be the Selfridge boat launch. I don't have any pictures of that. The guys would probably string me up if I did, but I guess they're catching small fish in there. There's a pile of guys on the ice right there by the boat launch. And if you look out into the main lake out there, there's a lot of black ice that's formed out there. I did not go on it. I did not check it because I don't want to try to incite you guys to go do that. There was a pocket of open water just a little bit off the shore earlier in the week that the ducks and geese were keeping open. That's filled in now, but that's not going to be real thick. I can guarantee you that. So that ice out there, I don't think it's ready yet. Again, you guys have got spuds. You can check anywhere you want. So from there, the canals, all those canals, or sorry, I should say most of the canals, including the one behind our store, our Selfridge location, are going to have ice all the way up to the Raft. You got some canals that are going to have more, some that are going to have less. If you're by culverts, you may have open water. So it's going to be variable all the way up. But there were a lot of guys on a lot of different canals today, all the way up to the Raft. Now, I stopped at Brandenburg. The same deal at Brandenburg is what we had at Crocker. There was a bunch of ice sheets that blew in there. Those sheets varied. I mean, they were a couple inches thick, but they're loosely cemented together. Now, it's none of it was moving when I was there, but I mean, you know, you're on chunks. So again, I would not recommend anybody going out on any of that ice there as well, but you're welcome to check it for yourself. You know, so be it. So now we're up in Fairhaven, where I'm at the boat launch, and amazingly enough, the black ice out there is thick enough for most of those guys, and it was thick enough for me to walk out on, and it was thick enough for the fire department to be doing a training session over on the white ice that's formed. They were doing rescue retrieval training, so I hope that's not a foreshadowing of anything that's going to happen anytime soon, but they were out there practicing. Suffice it to say, guys were out on the black ice. They were on both sides of the jetty going out there. I was able to walk out, poke some holes out there. The quality of the ice is real good, but it's sure not real thick. I wouldn't say that it's anything over a couple inches thick. And you'll see that the guys are strewn across there, and they were fishing along the white ice and the black ice boundary all the way into the raft. And including one of our employees was out there, and he shot a picture and sent us a picture of the fish that he had so far this morning. And he was getting some nice perch, although the perch that I saw being caught by the guys out in the open on their buckets were all small. But Mike did get some nice fish there so far today. And so who knows what that's going to be like if we get a bunch of rain. So next stop is around the corner and over to the Raft. The Raft is, you know, a lot of guys have been, there's probably more volume of ice there than anywhere else on the lake, albeit I don't think the quality of the ice is great, but I mean, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and it is what it is. So, and it's not easy walking. It's like trying to walk on giant frozen snowballs, quite honestly. So definitely, anywhere you guys go, where, you know, you're gonna need some sort of creeper, because whether you're on the black ice or any of the other, there's really no snow on the ice. So you're really gonna need to wear some kind of, you know, anti-slip protection, because it's pretty dang slick out there. And if we get water on it, it's only going to get worse. It's going to be really slippery. But that ice out in the Raft is probably some of the oldest ice on the lake, albeit there's a lot of slush under the ice. So here's a tip for you guys that are going to be out there if you're going to try to fish in that slush ice, because there's a lot of slush under the ice. Use, like, you know, one of these chain style spoons, you know, like a Halley or any one of the other manufacturers' chain spoons, or even jigging wraps. I mean, it's going to help you get down through that slush and get down to the fish. And I guarantee you there's fish down there. So you just got to be able to get through that slush effectively. And, you know, if there's a lot of slush, your flashers are going to be kind of useless as well, or your electronics, unless you can get your transducer down below the slush, because it's going to get reflection off of all that, you know, all that that trapped air in all that snow and slush that's down there underneath the ice. So just be aware of that. I mean, that's all I've really got for the report for you guys. It's like nobody's slamming the fish hot and heavy, although today was really, honestly, the first day that a lot of guys got out on the ice. So I'm expecting there's going to be quite a few fish caught today. Now, the other thing to kind of keep in mind, now the forecast going forward's got to stay in really cloudy. They keep pulling the temperatures back now. I know they were forecasting some mid-40s, but they're not now. Now the forecast is looking like 37, 38 for some of the high temps over the next 10 days, and back below freezing for most of the days, I think, other than 2 or 3 when I looked this morning. So who knows what's going to happen with the ice going forward. Now, but one thing to keep in mind this time of the year, guys, other than always using that spud bar out there, is going to be that your shorelines that are going to be facing towards the south, if we get any sunshine, those shorelines are going to get beat up pretty bad, because that's just the sun angle. That's just the way it is this time of the year. Your safer entries onto the ice are either going to be off of docks that aren't affected by the seawalls absorbing all that sun, or on any of the north-facing shorelines or seawalls, because they're going to be in the shadow of the sun during the warmest parts of the day. So that's just one of those tidbits to kind of keep in mind going forward. And if you guys are out after either today or after this rain that we're supposed to get tomorrow, please use extreme caution. Use a good spud so that you know what you're walking on. Don't take anything for granted. That black ice is going to look like open water, and the open water is going to look like ice if we get rain on it. So you're going to have to really use your spud all the time to keep yourself safe. We don't want to lose anybody out there chasing perch or bluegills, okay? So with all that said, I hope this helps you make some decisions for this upcoming weekend. Simcoe's had a lot colder temperatures. Up to the north of us have had colder temperatures. They've been making more ice. So if you don't feel comfortable going out anywhere around here, you can go a little bit north or go over to Canada and you should be able to get on some much better quality ice. Hey, if you like this video content and you want to get updated as soon as the next video is out there, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon and you'll get notified as soon as the next video is up.